The registration terminal beeped dismissively as Marcus Thompson approached, his weathered hands still carrying traces of soil from the transport ship's hydroponics bay. Around him, the crystalline spires of Nexus Prime's gladiatorial complex stretched toward twin suns, casting prismatic shadows across beings from a dozen different worlds. "Another human," chittered Vexithara, her mantis-like head tilting with barely concealed disdain. The Zephyrian Fightmaster's compound eyes glittered as she processed Marcus's entry form. "And what combat-bred monstrosities do you bring to our arena, dirt grubber?" Marcus adjusted his faded baseball cap, a relic from Earth's agricultural valleys. "Just a few of my working animals, ma'am. Nothing fancy." The nearby contestants erupted in a symphony of alien laughter. Korath, a towering Bruthan warrior, flexed his 4 arms as his cybernetically enhanced warhounds prowled restlessly in their containment fields. "Working animals?" His voice rumbled like grinding stone. "I have spent millennia breeding the perfect killing machines. These beasts have torn through the armor of battle mechs." "My void hunters," hissed Sisilith, her serpentine form coiling with pride, "have hunted in the vacuum of space, feeding on solar radiation and ship hulls. They know only hunger and death." The crowd of spectators pressed closer, eager to witness the humans' humiliation before the matches even began. Marcus simply nodded politely and guided his cargo containers toward the holding pens. The first container hissed open with a soft pneumatic sigh. What emerged was ordinary. A medium-sized quadruped with brown and white patches, liquid eyes, and what appeared to be modified hands rather than paws. It sniffed the air cautiously, then looked up at Marcus with unmistakable intelligence and affection. "It's a companion animal." Vexithara's voice carried the same tone one might use to identify a particularly unimpressive insect. "You brought pets to a death arena?" "Border collie mix," Marcus said, scratching behind the creature's ears. "This here's Rex. He's helped me manage livestock for 8 years. The second container revealed something even less impressive. A small, sturdy quadruped with a curled tail and alert, triangular ears. It immediately positioned itself between Marcus and the nearest alien predator, hackles raised but not aggressive, protective. "And that would be Luna," Marcus continued. "She's kept my farm safe from all sorts of troubles." By the third container, the alien laughter had reached a crescendo. The animal that emerged was barely knee-high, covered in gray and white fur with enormous eyes that seemed to take in everything at once. It sat primly and began grooming itself with deliberate precision. "A small earth predator," announced Marcus. "Name's Whiskers." Korath's warhounds slavered against their containment fields, eager to tear apart such seemingly helpless prey. "Human," the Bruthan warrior boomed. "I almost pity you. Almost." The arena master's voice echoed across the complex. "Citizens of Nexus Prime, welcome to the Planetary Beast Combat Championships. Today we witness the culmination of genetic engineering, combat conditioning, and predatory evolution." As the gates opened, Korath's warhounds charged forward like living missiles, their cybernetic implants gleaming. Behind them, Sisilith's void hunters moved with liquid grace, their forms seeming to bend light around them. Rex, Luna, and Whiskers stood calmly in the center of the arena, looking up at Marcus in the viewing box. He gave them a slight nod. What happened next would be analyzed by xenobiologists for generations. Rex didn't attack the warhounds. Instead, he began moving in precise patterns, circling and cutting, using terrain and positioning to separate the pack. His movements were so fluid, so instinctive, that the cybernetic predators found themselves isolated before they realized what was happening. Luna demonstrated why her ancestors had been selected not for aggression, but for an unbreakable bond with humans and an innate understanding of pack dynamics. She moved like liquid courage, never backing down, using her smaller size to dart between the larger predators' attacks while delivering precise, devastating strikes to vulnerable joints and sensory organs. But it was Whiskers who truly shocked the arena. The small feline moved like physics was merely a suggestion. She flowed up walls, ricocheted off surfaces that shouldn't have provided purchase, and struck with surgical precision. Her hunting instincts, honed by millions of years of evolution, had been perfected for taking down prey much larger than herself. The 3 Earth animals didn't fight like engineered killing machines. They fought like a team that had lived and worked together, reading each other's movements, compensating for weaknesses, and amplifying strengths. Rex herded opponents into Luna's powerful jaws, while Whiskers struck from impossible angles, using the chaos to deliver crippling attacks to neural clusters and joints. Within minutes, the arena floor was littered with the most expensive combat creatures in the galaxy, all alive, but completely incapacitated. The silence stretched like a held breath. Finally, Vexithara's voice crackled through the arena speakers. "How?" Marcus stood slowly, his voice carrying clearly in the stunned quiet. "You all bred for aggression, for individual killing power. But we humans, we've spent thousands of years selecting for something different. Intelligence, loyalty, the ability to work as a team, to protect family." He looked down at his three companions who were now sitting calmly in the center of the arena, barely breathing hard. "These aren't just animals," Marcus continued. "They're partners. They chose to work with humans not because we forced them, but because we offered them something better than just survival. We offered them purpose, belonging, love." Rex's tail wagged slightly. Luna's ears perked forward. Whiskers began grooming herself again, supremely unbothered by the carnage around her. "Your war machines are impressive," Marcus said, his farmer's voice carrying the weight of 10,000 years of partnership between humans and animals. "But they've never learned the most powerful force in the universe." "Which is?" Korath demanded, his voice smaller now. Marcus smiled, the expression transforming his weathered face. "Trust." The arena erupted in chaos as spectators and contestants alike tried to process what they had witnessed. But Marcus was already walking toward the exit, Rex, Luna, and Whiskers falling into formation around him like they had 1,000 times before. Behind them, the most advanced civilizations in the galaxy began to reconsider everything they thought they knew about strength, evolution, and the quiet human farmer who had just redefined the meaning of power. After all, what was more terrifying than a killing machine? A family that fought as one.